Guys, welcome back to Quick Notes with Chris. Today we're going to be talking about the book Start With Why by Simon Sinek. If you haven't read the book, I highly suggest it. Simon Sinek is one of the leading motivational speakers in personal development today, and he has an amazing, vast concepts that you can actually look towards looking into, whether it's for your business, your relationship, or just personal development. He's one of the leaders in the industry, and I highly suggest that you look into what he has going on because he is actually amazing. Now, starting with why, it's all about basically understanding his is very orientated towards a company and organization's sort of initial start. But you can actually take a lot of the teachings and apply it in all other areas in order to basically benefit your life. So start with why. So he has basically, it's called the magic circle, I believe the magic circle. So he has why in the middle, how outside, and what. And he talks about how every single organization, every single business, every single company knows what they do. They understand what they do. Right? Some know how, but very few know why. Now, he uses Apple for an example. Apple, their what is that they create beautiful computers. Did you want to buy one? That's what their what is. Their how is that they have it through, IP. They have so many direct interface, things that you can utilize. But their why is actually why people buy it and why it's one of the most successful companies today, $1 trillion company. Now, their why is that they believe in doing everything differently. They believe in becoming, a different level above everything else, right? And they just so happen to sell computers. And that's why they originally started as a computer program, and yet people buy their mobiles from them. People buy their music library from them. There's so many ways that they've been able to branch out because Apple no longer represents Apple computers. Apple is a company. Apple is an organization of people who believe in doing things differently that just so happen to sell a vast majority of products. Now, if you're able to duplicate that, that's how you'll be able to have a level of extreme success. Because so many other companies, if you think about it, are able to do exactly what Apple's done in terms of the tech that they're able to release. A lot of people actually think that Apple products are not the highest end, especially smartphones. They weren't the first smartphone. Apple was not the first smartphone. They weren't the first laptop. In fact, many companies offer better tech, better drive. But the thing is, it's not about that anymore. Once you have a slightly above standard in quality of a product, it's all about why. Why does your company represent? What does it represent versus what is it that you have to sell? Once you understand that, then that's really what you're able to sort of drive behavior, because people can understand features and benefits. They can understand the tech, they can understand logistics, but it doesn't drive them to buy. It doesn't drive their behavior in order to buy, like purchasing. But have you ever heard of like those companies that they basically are like, yeah, look, we're a water bottle company, but we ended up putting 10% of all our proceeds towards helping the environment. We're all about helping their environment. We just happen to sell water. And they end up becoming some of the most successful, most profitable companies out there. And it's because it has nothing to do with what they're selling, but why they're doing it and what they're representing. Your why is never about profit. Profit is just a result. Profit is just a result. Why is it that you're doing something? That's what you need to focus on. If you can understand that, then you understand what it is that you're representing as a company, as an organization, and from there you can start branching out and keep going on from there, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. But something that I really like about the why sort of theory, it's not only a theory, it's definitely like, there's a lot of supporting evidence towards it, is that the why and understanding why creates loyalty. Because if you're thirsty, any water bottle will do. Any water bottle will do. But if you understand who you're supporting, especially the why behind it, of course you're going to go back to the person that's actually, ending world hunger, ending world thirst, all that type of stuff. That's going to drive you back to that company. The reason why so many people buy Apple, right, is on top of that, they have reliability. There's all these different aspects towards the company. There's a level of superiority that comes with the product. There's so many, photos on the internet nowadays that talks about having a green bubble instead of a blue bubble. That blue bubble while texting. They've mastered the art of the why. And that's why they're one of the most successful companies. Disney, right? Disney is just a what? Their what is that they're just a film company. They're just a film and animation company, right? That's what they ended up starting off with. But really what they ended up becoming their why is by telling grand stories that are able to shape, a child's future, and so on and so on and so on. They're not actually about the distribution. Their why model is about telling stories, inspiring others. And people buy into that. People will watch a Disney movie without any idea what it's about, only because they know that by the end of it, they're going to feel inspired. And that is another reason why they become more successful. Once again, money is just a result. Profit is just a result. Why is what it's all about. If every other person is able to have an animation program, Disney actually is a group of animators now. It's not about their technology, it's about a group of people who are working together. And all of these people understand why it is that they're doing it. And that's why they've been able to become so successful. So, if you're able to duplicate your brand, start from the why. Start with why. So many people make the mistake of understanding what, right? Hey, do you want to buy shirts? How is it that we're going to do it? They're going to be organic cotton. If you start with the why, what we want to do, right, is be able to create shirts that are going to be beneficial to the environment. They're not going to have any type of pesticides or anything like that in the creation. They're going to have no harm towards the animals. How we're going to do it is by sourcing it through cotton. What we actually have to sell is a shirt. Okay, that is starting with a why. That's an example of starting with a why. If you're able to start to do that and understand why it is that you're doing something, in that way that you can actually create a brand that has a level of loyalty with its consumers and a connection. Okay, Mark Zuckerberg, he started out because he wanted to connect the world. Right, Bill Gates, his why was that he wanted to every single home computer to have Microsoft on it. It had nothing to do with the profits, at the very least, initially. It had nothing to do with the profits. He had a goal, he had a fulfillment that he set out and was going to accomplish. And that's why he was able to become one of the richest men in the world. Right, Mark Zuckerberg ended up becoming one of the most youngest billionaires in the entire world. The reason is because he started with why. Profits come because of results. Why is what creates customer loyalty, and that's what it's really about. If you can have repeat customers that consistently buy through you because they understand why it is that you're doing something, they end up becoming one with the brand and ambassadors themselves. How many people promote Apple products? How many people promote promoters? How many people promote entertainers, Instagram influencers, right? An Instagram influencer, like for example, social media, all they're doing is just releasing a video. Right, but if they represent something behind them, why is it that so many people back celebrities more so because of who they are as a person rather than what it is that they represent? I know so many people who watch Leonardo DiCaprio movies because he's a vegan activist, because he's all about saving the environment, other than the fact that he's a really good actor. There are so many really good actors, but it's also about the image that you create behind you. Why is it that you're doing something? What is the movement that you're behind versus what it is that you're doing? Once again, features and benefits anybody can understand. But if you can have an established why, that's something that people can get behind, and that develops a level of loyalty. So to summarize, whenever you're starting a company, whenever you're starting a business, whenever you're looking towards creating an organization, always start with why. Understand why it is that you're doing something. When you're able to do that, you're able to have a connection with your customer base and move on from there. Very few companies know why, right? Majority of them know how, and every single person know what. Start with the why and move outside from there. Successful organizations will always start with a reason behind why they're doing something versus what they have to offer. If you can duplicate that within your business, within your organization, you're going to be 10 times more successful. For example, an easy way to explain that even further, when you start a relationship, nobody looks at, or very few people or successful relationships look towards it because I need a relationship because I want a kid. That's my what. That's your what. That's the point of having a relationship. If you look at it from, a behavioral standpoint, it's just to have a child. Okay, but the reason why is I've fallen in love with this person because of what she represents, because of why she's doing what she's doing, or why that person has these beliefs, thoughts. I'm drawn to the person and everything like that. Kids are a result. Right? Children are a result. Marriage is a result. You don't start a relationship looking towards that, but it is something that you keep in mind. But what you want to start it with is why. Why that person is doing what they're doing. Their thoughts, their morals, what they're trying to create, the mark that they're trying to leave on the world. If you can master this within your own personal self and understand why it is that you're here, of course you'll be able to duplicate it within a business. Once again, guys, profits come as a result. Profits come as a result. People don't necessarily buy the product, especially when it comes to branding. They get behind why it is that you're doing it, and customer loyalty is what it's all about. If you want to be a successful business, you have to have repeat sales. Repeat sales come from loyalty, and loyalty comes behind people who back the brand. People who back the brand, they become ambassadors, they feel loyalty behind it, and from there you're going to be forever successful. Anyways, guys, that's everything to do with the summary of the book. We'll be making a lot more videos of these in the future, so don't let your improvements stop there. There are a lot of other videos that you can watch that are going to be coming out on the channel. That you can, if you like what you've seen here, like, comment, subscribe, and look at some of our other videos throughout the channel, and you'll be able to sort of go from there to put you in a better position to be successful. Other than that, guys, I should be uploading a little bit more videos throughout the day, if not next week, in the coming weeks as well, so keep a lookout for them. But I appreciate your time. Thank you for listening. And once again, this was Quick Notes with Chris, Start With Why by Simon Sinek. I highly suggest you look at some of his other stuff and some of my stuff as well. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next video.